Hello, listeners, and welcome to another segment with me, Maddie Howard. Today, I'm sitting down with my fellow Glenbard West classmate, Taskeen. In lieu of the widespread debate regarding the Muslim religion in this country and abroad, Taskeen and I believed it was important to discuss the topic here on the show. Now, Taskeen is a Muslim. Today, identifying with this religion is seen by many as a negative thing. However, Taskeen and I aim to show people through this conversation that American Muslims are really just normal people. So hopefully today we can do some humanizing. So Taskeen, would you like to introduce yourself to our viewers?
Yeah. So I'm Taskeen Khan. I'm a senior at Glenbard West. I'm part of the forensics team and newspaper, and my favorite TV show is Pretty Little Liars.
Awesome. Love the show. Okay, so let's start out with our first question. What is your opinion on the anti-Islam rhetoric taking place in our country as of late?
It's definitely a sad thing that an entire faith worth of people is being judged by the actions of just a few, especially when these few outliers don't represent the faith, when Muslims will tell you that their actions don't reflect what the religion stands for. And then it's definitely hard when you're sitting at home with your family and you're watching TV and someone on the news is saying hurtful things about your religion because you're sitting there thinking, this doesn't apply to my family. Why are they saying that this is true for Muslims?
How do you feel when presidential candidates are utilizing such hate speech in order to obtain voters?
It's not a good feeling. Because as soon as they say it on TV and in public, it sends a message that it's okay to say hateful speech to others. And I think that has repercussions because in everyday life, people are more willing to say harmful things because they see someone else do it on TV. And that person on TV isn't being told, that's not okay to say. So regular people assume that that's all right for them to say to others, which it's not.
After incidents such as the San Bernardino shooting, do you feel as if people at school, in general, public, are perceiving you or your family members differently?
I feel like the people who know our family aren't perceiving us differently, but I think that the strangers who don't know us definitely have more questions about our faith, and sometimes people don't want to ask because they're worried about hurting your feelings. But if they do, we can show them that a lot of the stuff that you hear in the media and that you hear politicians saying isn't true.
What opinion do you have on these hate crimes? Do you feel like the Muslim population is being unnecessarily targeted as a result of them?
I think the Muslim population is being unnecessarily targeted, and part of the cause of that is that people are making assumptions about the Muslims who are their neighbors and who go to the same schools as them, and they're seeing someone as just their religion rather than the person behind the religion, the person who shares the same values as them. They're seeing them as someone different rather than someone who is just like them. And I think that the hate crimes are slightly increasing, at least in part because of the media's and politicians' presentations of Islam as a religion that's not peaceful and it's just not approachable, so people aren't willing to talk to Muslims and get to know them as much.
In general, do you feel like there is a stigma that is partnered with being a Muslim in our society?
I think that there's a perception of Muslims. You assume that they have certain beliefs on topics such as women's rights, and you don't bother to ask them, do you share this belief that I think you have? You're giving someone beliefs and you don't know if those are true or not.
What are some misconceptions that people have about the faith?
I think people often assume that Islam is a religion that condones violence, when in fact you're not supposed to take a human life. You're supposed to treat others how you would want to be treated. And they also assume that it's a religion that emphasizes the conversion of others, that emphasizes the idea that everyone has to be Muslim, when in reality that's not true. You're not supposed to force anyone to believe anything that they don't want to, and you accept everyone, whether they're religious or not religious.
Well, in spite of all that is happening, there are people that are trying to become acquainted with the Muslim culture and just be more accepting of their neighbors.
I definitely agree. not too long ago, my mom was at a restaurant, and a family came up to her and said, we know you're of the Muslim faith, you wear a hijab, you're wearing a scarf, and we want to apologize for how people have been treating Muslims in this country. So that just really, it made a big difference to her, because it's someone saying that I agree with your point of view, even though I'm not of the same religion as you.
So, and to kind of wrap up, what advice do you have for us? How can we put an end to the disturbing rhetoric and stereotypes that have such a negative impact on our national unity?
My advice would be to get to know your Muslim neighbor. Don't believe the things that you hear on the media, because it's not the most reliable source always. If you don't have a Muslim in your community who you can reach out to and talk to, there's events at mosques where they have open houses, and there's lots of opportunities, even if you don't know someone, where you can find out more about the faith, which is a better option than making an assumption that may be wrong. And then something that Muslim people can do to help end the rhetoric is to reach out to their neighbors, to talk to others, even if it makes them uncomfortable a little bit, and just share who you are, so people don't assume things about you, because they never got the chance to know who you are.
All right, thank you so much, Taskeen, for being here. We really appreciate it. Thanks for listening, everyone, and I really hope that you learned something new today. Please just keep in mind that one of the most beautiful things about this country is its overall diversity, and whether you are skeptical or accepting of the Muslim faith, I really encourage you to learn as much as you can so that we can all live together in solidarity. See you next time.